Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Phil from Ashland Leather, and it's a Monday. I'm really excited to come back and show you some more great stuff. First off, I'm going to show you the flash sale that's currently going on. I've got some other items that are shipping this week, and then we had a request that somebody wanted to see some of our edge finishing. So I took some videos of my brother Matt finishing up a really cool English tan Dublin Fat Herbie, and I'll show you a bit of that later. But first up, I wanted to show you this black shell cordovan Louis Little New York. These are on a flash sale currently, and there's a couple left. I really like this black shell cordovan, and on this Louis Little New York, it's a minimalist card holder, so it's a really great combination if you're looking for a minimalist shell cordovan wallet. The black shells on these are particularly nice and smooth, so it's a really good opportunity to grab a nice piece of shell. Alright, now we're on to some of the stuff that's shipping out today, and this is a Tony the Ant in color 8 marbled shell cordovan. Just check out how incredible the random color on the back piece of this is, and it even has that really mirror-like bright luster that we all know and expect out of shell cordovan at this point, but I just can't get enough of the random colors in the marbled shells. And on the inside we are featuring that really cool Horween ink stamp. So next up here I've got a really nice color number 4 shell cordovan Johnny the Fox, and this one has a really nice reverse interior. I've mentioned before on some of these videos, so you might get sick of me hearing this from me, but I really like the reverse cordovan interiors. I like how these wear in on the insides of wallets. I think they're more easily polished and filled in after they get scratched. But the color 4 shell cordovan on this is just super nice. This until recently was my favorite shell color, and I think you can really see why on this piece. Now here we have a Frank the Enforcer in natural shell cordovan. I've had some people that recently purchased wallets that were worried about any of the wallets, including like the Johnny the Fox that has 8 card slots, fitting enough cards inside. And the advice that I give to everybody is you can put more than 1 card in each slot, which might sound like common sense. They actually are made to fit multiple cards, so you shouldn't have any issue loading this up pretty heavily. So here's another really neat marbled shell cordovan Tony the Ant, but this one is actually black marbled, and let me show you the difference between the black marbled and the color 8 marbled. So the color 8 marbled on the right there, you can see is more of those burgundy overtones, the sort of dark brown burgundy reddish colors, where the black marbled, and this one is more exceptional than most black marbled, we tend to see more of this green shade on the black marbled stuff, like the inside of this wallet. So I really like both marbleds. The color 8 marbleds are obviously a little bit more burgundy, where the black marbled is ironically not as black, it's more of like a greenish. And the reason that you start to see it look green is because the dyes that they use at the tannery to make the black shells are actually a greenish black dye. So you start to see more of those green undertones on the black marbled and black reverse. Alright, last up for items, or some of the items that are shipping today, this is a really beautiful black Dublin Johnny the Fox. And I will continue to say how much I enjoy the Dublin, and this particular piece of black Dublin, you can see all that natural grain character that I really like. Most black leathers in particular are very painted with the finish. This is very much an aniline finish on the black Dublin, so you can really see all the grain character, and they're all random and varied. This one happens to be a little bit more intense than most. Oftentimes they're a little bit more smooth, but you do see those hair follicle or the grain character in the leather itself on all of the Dublins. So speaking of which, I have an English tan Dublin Fat Herbie back here, and this is our last topic of the day. Is I wanted to show you per request some of the edge finishing that we do and what that looks like in our process. In my hand here I have a Fat Herbie in English tan Dublin that has obviously been constructed and sewn into Fat Herbie. However, the edges are currently raw on this one, and I wanted to start showing you a little bit of the process for what we do to finish edges. But first, let's show you what it looks like before and after. So on the left, you can see this raw edge. It's lighter in color, it's a bit more fibrous, but once you polish and finish the edge, it fills in those fibers much more tightly, and we use different products like wax and water and toconol to fill in the fibers on the edges, and then we slick them down and hand polish everything. So I'm going to splice over this a few clips of my brother Matt finishing these wallets. The first thing we do to edge finish a wallet is to take it to a sander. And the idea is that you take off a small amount of the leather to make it very flush and even around all the outside edges of the wallet. The step after that, once you've sanded down the edge, we take a very sharp beveling tool and round out the corners of each edge of the wallet. And it sort of gives the edge a rounded look. The next thing we do is we take an application of Tokonol, and this is a special product for edge finishing that fills in and compacts and tightens the grains or the fibers of the leather and makes them more smooth. After we've applied the Tokonol, we hand apply a bit of beeswax on each of the edges, and the beeswax further fills in those fibers. And the last step we do is we take a little bit more of the Tokonol to sort of give a bright, shiny luster to the edge. It gives it sort of the appearance of wood, and in particular on this English tan Dublin, it really looks like a nice piece of wood. So here we are again in real time, and on the top I've got the unfinished edge, and the bottom you've got the finished edge, and you can really see how much difference that makes. There was a point in time where we were not finishing all the edges. We would finish them by request because a lot of people liked the experience of the edge aging with their style. So this is something that is now a default to finish now, and we only don't finish them unless you request it. So I thought that would help you. I forget who asked the question to show more about edge finishing, but hopefully this helps show you a little bit of what we do. And this is not the gold standard. Every leather is a little bit different, so you might want to treat it differently if you're trying to finish something on your own. This is just what we found works best for our Dublin leather. So thanks for checking it out. If you have more questions on edge finishing or any of the other wallets we shipped today, including this black shell cordovan Louis that is currently on sale, please feel free to leave a comment. You can send me an email, find me, and I will get back to you. But thanks again, and take care.